the top somehow. I'll keep moving on. I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving on. I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving
Yes, my straight talk family, it's raining cats and dogs on the outside, and we are all get up and ready to say good night and welcome to the world to another edition of Straight Talk, because we are on the World Wide Web and we are reaching and touching you. First of all, let me say good night to St. Kitts and Nevis. Good night to the entire Eastern Caribbean region, or the Caribbean region, I should say. And good night to the Kittitian and Nevisan diaspora and the Caribbean diaspora all over the world. I know that some of you are in Africa. There are some of you in Europe. There are some of you in Asia. And there are a whole lot of you all over North America. So I am at liberty to say good night. I can say good morning, and I will say good afternoon, because one of such greetings is applicable to the region in which you now find yourselves. And we welcome all and thank those who share the link. Because when you do, we get first-timers. And for the first-timers, I must inform them that Straight Talk is a public service program that facilitates and promotes free, underline free expression on all issues of national interest, be they legal, environmental, technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On Straight Talk, we do have a forum to express yourselves freely. On this program, though, we try to raise the level of national consciousness. We try to raise the level of national discourse by alerting our people to their rights, to their responsibilities, and certainly to their obligations. My name is Ian Patches Liburd, and I thank Almighty God for blessing me with another opportunity to join you in conversation on yet another occasion. And I will hasten to add, especially for the first-timers, that as your host, I pledge to remain an untiring advocate of truthfulness, as I am always reminded of the words of a favorite hymn of mine, which goes something like this: we are called to be God's prophets, speaking for the truth and right, standing firm for godly justice, bringing evil things to light. So let's seek the courage needed, our high calling to fulfill, that we all may know the blessing of the doing of God's will. So my Straight Dog family, absolutely nothing, I will remind you, nothing is watered down on this program. We don't try to make it more interesting, neither by omission or by exaggeration. Straight Talk, remember, is not about sensationalism or creating excitement, especially at the expense of accuracy, because we lean on the facts. So it's my bounden duty to present the unvarnished truth, I call it, the plain truth, especially when it comes to governance and transparency that's lacking so much in my beloved country of St. Kitts and Nevis. And this program joins us together with people across our federation in St. Kitts and Nevis. It joins us with people in the diaspora all around the world. Some we know, and we know very well. Some we have met. Others we do not know, and many we will never meet. Some of us will agree with the positions of truth advanced on Straight Talk, and some will disagree. And that's fine, because Straight Talk is a program on which we promote diversity of views, because we are different people. So please, don't you ever sadden me, my Straight Talk family, and start to become disagreeable. Please. And let us in the meanwhile thank Almighty God for helping us to understand, oh, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Let us therefore hope and pray for the day when we will all sing his praise together. So welcome once again. And for those who share the link, please continue to do so. As I said, you bring us first-timers, and please continue to do so. For the first-timers, I must also inform you that Straight Talk is a participative program. By that I mean, we include your calls and your emails. And if you're so minded, call in. The numbers are 663 6672. That's a local number. You can access it via from overseas as well. Of course, you use the area code 869 plus 663 6672. Or you have access to our overseas number, which is 646 829 6672. Or for those who like the cloak of anonymity, I call it, we give you access via our email platform. And the email address is Straight Talk Patches. That's one word, StraighTalkPatches at gmail.com. Some have the Alexa app as well, and you can be heard live on Alexa. Just say, Alexa, play Massive Vibes Radio. Thank you for the owner of that program for giving us at a nominal cost. And we say a special welcome to our Straight Talk Junior Brigade. Young Dwayne, Tristan, Shama, Kevin, Young Rue, Costa, Travis, Travon, and of course Jamal over there, and Gwilla. And the special lady must be recognized. And my Straight Talk family, we start on a very somber note. And I want to publicly extend condolences to two of our matriarchs here on Straight Talk. One is Alison Morton, Alison Wycliffe Morton, who in fact posted this note on her Facebook page, and it informed us that her sister Agatha has gone to the great beyond. And she's saying she's lost a loving friend with a big heart. So we want to extend condolences to one of our matriarchs, very added listener to Straight Talk, and to Maisie Somerset as well. I saw Maisie on the Peace and Justice Walk on Saturday. She's walking faster than me, Maisie, with her dimples, yes. But on a sad note, she lost a son Ralph, and we too want to extend publicly, I did it personally, but I extend publicly condolences to Maisie Somerset, who lost her son Ralph. So may the souls of our departed ones rest in eternal peace. And I always like to remind those who lost loved ones, we can say anything to you. We can extend condolences and say anything. But especially when it's close, your mother, your son, or your daughter, it's a different dimension. I remember losing my mother, and it's the first time I recall crying like a little child, a big man like me, crying like a little child in front of the entire church. It wasn't until some time after, at the burial site, that someone put their hands on my shoulder. I put a hand on my shoulder and said the words, "Son, death is a process." So like Jimmy Cliff said, who feels it knows it. I want to tell you, death is a process. So condolences again to those who have lost loved ones. Some we may not have heard of, but if you are listening, we want to extend condolences to you as well. We usually begin with our observations in review, which are an integral part of Straight Talk. Then we'll move into our normal thesis, or my normal or usual thesis. And following my thesis, I will include your calls and your emails, as I mentioned earlier, to allow full participation. Yes, on this program, you get an opportunity to have your say, my Straight Talk family. And our observations and review highlight the current issues and do some reflection. We may then ask a few questions, such as what was accomplished, how has it helped others, what has changed since, and what can be expected next. And of course, it's very important, what new we have learned as a people, because it's a learning process. We each one teach one on this program. That's what Straight Talk is all about. And after our observations in review, we will begin our thesis for tonight, which I have titled, Be Not Distracted by the Crime Academics and Politics. So don't you move that link. Just spread the word that Straight Talk is on live at the moment. And our first observation relates to the Urban Development Corporation, the UDC. And the last time we spoke about the Urban Development Corporation, that was a long time ago, when we referred to the $250,000 hut. How many of us recall that? And to date, no one has justified its construction or its construction costs. So no one was ever held accountable for any misuse or abuse of public funds that belong to you and me. Since then, my Straight Talk family, the infamous hut, which was originally built for the security down there at UDC, was completed under this current administration and upon the recommendation of the then Deputy CEO, Carissa Nero. It was leased to the Makana Ferry Service. And we refer to it as the infamous hut. The ferry Makana plies between St. Martin and St. Kitts on a weekly basis. But its current management, or the current management, I should say, of the UDC, is what everyone is talking about. And one name that always comes to the fore each time is Carissa Nero, known as Kerry Nero. And someone sent me her Facebook post today. Someone sent her Facebook post to Straight Talk today, which reads, tarnishing someone else's name or reputation to make yours look better is a sign of weakness. And obviously this went out on Saturday. Happy Saturday, she reads. Well, Straight Talk cannot verify my family if her name and or her reputation is being tarnished, and if so, by whom. But Straight Talk can confirm that she is currently the acting CEO of UDC, following the unexpected resignation of CEO Julie Charles, a highly competent professional, I'm told. Julie Charles, upon departure, confided in someone that Julie Charles, holds a master's degree, and she has had enough of Kerry Nero, who doesn't even have her birth certificate. That's what she told someone. Now, Kerry Nero's claim to fame, she said, resulted from her buddy-buddy relationship with the Minister Marsha Henderson, who is her drinking partner, we are told. And her cousin, by the way, is the chairman of the board of directors of UDC. Now, since the Urban Development Corporation was established and is under the sole subscribership of the government of St. Kitts and Nevis, it has never, nigh 30 years, never appointed a deputy CEO until Labour came to office in 2022. And Kerry Nero was handed that position with responsibility back then for the marina and operations. And everyone speaks of her arrogance and incompetence. Kerry Nero, it is alleged, undermined her boss, Julie Charles, who, as I said, eventually had to resign. The position of Pearline Truss, the Chief Security Officer, or Chief of Security, I think it was called. I was trying to find that letter, and time ran me down. Forgive me for that. I'll find it if I can get it before the program ends. But the position of Pearline Truss as Chief Security was abolished. Imagine that. A Chief of Security position was abolished. Since then, Sandra Nisbet and Deborah Matthew, who they claim salaries were too high, were made redundant. My good friend Everett Daniel, I think she's from Parsons at Dougie Labour. She has gone home with some others as well. Now, the UDC Straight Talk was told is in such a mess. Many boats have left the marina, so revenue is way, way down. I took a walk down there a few days ago myself, and many store owners who saw me complained bitterly to me about this Kerry. Owners are slowly moving back to St. Martin as a result of the low or no cruise ship arrivals. I think we only have one listed for September. Workers are on the edge at UDC. The payroll officer just sent in her resignation, and further resignations will come anytime now, we have been told. The misery at UDC for the workers there was heightened by Troy Roberts, who came, we are told, as a messenger. Straight Talk was advised, but has been given so many positions because he's a rabid, he's an overzealous Labour supporter, but has one impediment. He cannot write his name, much less write a report. He can be seen on a regular basis shopping with the acting CEO, and many wonder if the auditors will soon uncover misuse, if any, of the UDC's credit card which is in her possession. But Straight Talk will keep you updated as more things will unfold shortly at the Urban Development Corporation, the UDC, which we are told has no money. Our second observation, my Straight Talk family, again, someone sent me or shared with me yesterday as well this message from a lady by the name of Ebony Brandon. And it reads as you see. You're damn right. Got miserable patches cussing me on his show. Almost 11 years I've lived here, and never once have I been accosted about where I come from. Until Tuesday, I'm minding my business, and people cursing me or cursing at me in Bastille for doing my job. A lot of them are irresponsible and bitter, especially in this very charged atmosphere. It's not the time for careless banter. My Straight Talk family, truth be told, this lady introduced herself to me about 3 or 4 years ago. And if I see her tonight, I'll be honest, I won't even recognize her. I don't remember what she looks like. I don't know her, and was very reluctant to call her name, as this may give her some credence, no doubt, to be called her name on Straight Talk. We are told that she's one of the new palace guards that attends the July's roundtable sessions. But Ebony obviously listens to straight talk. So I want to assure you, my love, I don't know you and hold nothing against you. So just like your Prime Minister Gaston Brown said together, Gaston Brown said this together, my straight dog family.
Coming to our country to stir poop on Observer Radio. Do I keep your poop in sink, it's man? Sure.
So your Prime Minister said this together some time ago. So I was asked to inform you politely, Ebony Brandon, that Antigua and Barbuda poop should also be kept over there in Antigua and Barbuda. And our third observation, my straight dog family, relates to the solar project that was approved and a contract signed over 2 years ago under the Team Unity administration. And just a few days ago, July made this comment on his roundtable, I think it was. He said this, my straight dog family.
Because we met no project on the way, none. We had to build all of these projects basically from scratch. This solar project, we had to totally revamp it because it was going nowhere. And we had to almost start from scratch for that.
Imagine that, my straight dog family. The solar project, which was already approved and signed by the Team Unity administration, as a matter of fact, it started under my watch since before 2020. It has been delayed for over 2 years by this or maladministration. And the consequences are that 16 megawatts at peak load is not available to the country. It would be, if it is ever implemented, would be the largest solar farm in the Caribbean, a 36 megawatt solar farm with battery storage power, or battery storage, I should say. But what are the consequences? We've lost for 2 years, as I said, 16 megawatts of base load, which means load that is not intermittent load that would be delivered to the generation plant in the peak period, like a time like now. And this has resulted in the high cost of electricity. The unreliability, I should say, of the electricity has forced the administration to rent generators from Agreco, costing millions of dollars. And everything is a secret under the July administration. So we may never know now. And we ought to know as a people what is the monthly cost of renting these generators. But quite characteristic of Terence Michael July, he told the country a big lie. But his advisor, Austin Appleton Edinburgh, told the country the truth, my straight dog family. Edinburgh told the country this.
Let's deal with the question of why we couldn't even just shut it down and say to locals, or find out if we have it here, and then if we have it here, just shut it down. Because we were in such a space, well, I said we because the country was, in terms of the contract that would have cost us an enormous amount of money to get out of it. It would have cost us an enormous amount of money and litigation. And so even if we had people ready to move, which I don't believe we do, but even if we had people ready to move on such a project.
What you're saying is that it will cost more to get out of the contract than it is going forward.
Yes,
Okay.
it would.
Okay.
And I believe that should be said to the people, because that is the plain and simple fact where that is concerned. However, I will also say that it is a good project based on our own studies, calling in the expertise from right in the Caribbean to assess. It's a good project. Mm-hmm. They feel that it was properly assessed and the costing was within the range of what it would cost anyway to do that.
So it's about time Terence Michael July stop telling lies about the solar project. Because even your advisor have told the country it is a good project. The costing was good. And he went on. So stop telling lies, July. Our fourth observation relates to Frigate Bay, my Straight Dog family. And good night to the folks in Frigate Bay. Recall under the Doggy Labour administration, a man built a house on the beach in Frigate Bay. Under the July Labour administration, now we're hearing about a large complex, shopping complex on Frigate Bay. Straight Talk has confirmed that Rams is constructing a business center on that lot of land to the right going into Frigate Bay as you go down the hill on the first roundabout. We do not know, my Straight Talk family, we do not know if a request was made and granted for a change of use and by whom that request, if any request, was granted. But residents in that area must hold the slow student, your member of parliament, your parliamentary representative for St. Christopher 1, East Bastia. You must hold the slow student Hanley accountable. And you must demand that he give an explanation about this development. Is it approved by the Development Control and Planning Board? As it seems as though foundation works have already begun. Here is an artist's impression of that project. Some business center. But truth be told, my Straight Dog family, St. Kitts and Nevis is in total disarray. When you drive up on the Frigate Bay Road, past the gas station, past the fire station coming up to your left, look at our corridor. Deplorable. Garbage. Vendors. I'm not saying people can't ply the trade, but let it be organized. Let it be properly structured. Go up going towards the airport past the Moravian Church. Look at right next to the Moravian Church. Go up where this green space should have been in Taylor's. Look at what's happening there. We are in total disarray all over the country. And there seem to be no help or change coming. It's going to get worse, I believe. And finally, my Straight Dog family, and on a positive note, Straight Talk wants to, or hereby congratulates Michael Louis, who represent the St. Kitts Patriots. Although in a losing game, he top scored with 63, which comprised, I believe, of some 7 sixes. We wish this young man well. I know his mama and his papa well, from Taylor's. So I personally wish him well. And I know they are proud of the young son. But let's pray that next time around he'll give us a ton. Because we are expecting 100 before the season is over from our own Michael Louis. And those are our observations in review for tonight, my Straight Dog family. And I move right into my thesis, which I said I've titled, Be Not Distracted by the Crime, Academics, and Politics. And I'm sure you will recognize that for some time now, I haven't really spoken about crime in St. Kitts and Nevis. Because even my own experiences brings back some memories for me as an individual and as a father and someone who knows many people, many friends, close friends who have lost their sons or their daughter through some senseless killings. And over the last weekend, some people have been burdened with lectures about crime in this country. And I have deliberately, as I said, not addressed crime on this forum. But I have come to tell you tonight that you must not be fooled by any professor from any university or medical school or by any psychologist or psychiatrist or any doctor, whether Dr. Who or worse yet, Dr. Drew, who is so lie. Don't be fooled by any organizations and presentations. As I said, by any doctor, whether it's Dr. Drew, who is so lie, is known to all of us as a pathological liar. I listened to a portion of what must be the start of a lecture series to try to convince the Federation that crime is a public health issue. Dubbed the launch of national consultations on crime and a 90-day campaign, as reported by Glenn Barth of SKN Newsline, who told us this, my Straight Dog family.
We want to take the politics out of it, because if we don't, we will never resolve the issue. So from my perspective, and I see from the perspective of other politicians as well, we have to work together to see how we can resolve this matter. And it takes all of us who are here, even beyond the politics. Law enforcement alone cannot do it, but they must do their part. But we as a society have to come up with the solutions. I want to say officially and to launch from this point onwards the 90-day campaign against violence and crime. And to say that there will be a number of activities that would involve all of us. And to also say that from my perspective, this will never ever become an issue only when we see a flare in violent crimes, but that it will be a staple on the table when it comes to policies.
Staple on the table when it comes to policies as they relate to crime. He spoke to collaboration. And collaboration is needed on so many other things. Collaboration is needed on land distribution. Collaboration is needed on housing. Collaboration is needed on the PAP, the Poverty Alleviation Program, now called LIFT. Collaboration is also needed on the Peace Program, now called Elevate. It was good to see the third Prime Minister, Timothy Harris, at the July launch on Friday. Harris went to show his solidarity, no doubt. I don't know if he made any presentations. The third Prime Minister, Harris, and the People's Labour Party must also be commended for mobilizing so many people early on Saturday morning to walk for justice and peace. And I'm sure you saw the pictures being circulated on social media. But I asked the question, where was Dr. July? Why didn't he demonstrate by attending that walk for justice and peace on Saturday? Just by attending, he would have demonstrated to the country and the world that he really cares about justice and peace in St. Kitts and Nevis. That's why I told you about his dishonesty. July had an opportunity to get politics out of crime and show solidarity with Joyce from Prickle Pear Alley, the mother of Aziwa. Milk, as he was known, was brutally assassinated. But no, July wants to grandstand and lecture us in what can be called an exercise in pure academics and politics about crime and violence. But some people are academically brilliant, but some are also functionally dense. In which category can we place Dr. July? Surely, he cannot lecture Joyce about crime and violence when she raised a son. Joyce raised a son, Aziwa, who only attained the age of just over 20 years, I believe. Joyce and many mothers like her in this country can talk with authority about crime, not July, my straight dog family. Not July.
Love me, mommy. And I did
love
love
her. He did love her.
He didn't love me, I know. I know picture he love me. Lord have mercy upon me. Lord. God me try. Lord, useless people. Lord have mercy. Oh God. Oh God, that's right. To be sure.
So what can Dr. July tell Joyce about crime? What can July tell me about crime? I experienced crime firsthand when I saw my son Cheesy lying in blood on a stretcher at the JN France General Hospital, only to learn that he was struck with a hammer on his forehead. I recall when he recognized me, he whispered the words, I heard him say, Malfi, Malfi. My second son was assassinated, and I had the difficult task of identifying his body at the morgue. It was difficult to see him lying dead. His head was riddled with bullets. I remember the forensic pathologist, I think he's called. He looked at me, I said, I think he was a German. He was assassinated. But before that calamity, my straight dog family, I recall my son, who said he actually called into Straight Talk on a program, took me by surprise. And he said these words, my Straight Talk family.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Ian Patrick Liburd.
Good afternoon, sir.
This is Mikhail Yannick Liburd.
This is who?
This is your son they're talking about. I was caught up in a political game where they said I did something. My father now is make a change and trying to bring the country together, to unity. And look what I have done. They tried to bring up my past, but they wouldn't break me, and they shouldn't break you, my father. Okay? You be strong, stay on the radio, do the work. You know what I mean? Because the liar have no memory. And you always taught me that. And don't care what you do. Don't let them break you. I will stay strong and you be strong too, my father.
And those were his instructions. Stay on the radio. As my late son reminded us that a liar has no memory. He said that's what I taught him. But that's what my grandmother taught me. So no doubt I passed it on to him. So my Straight Dog family, that's why it irks me when we have a prime minister who is a bold-faced liar. So what can Dr. July tell us about crime? When a member of his own cabinet is accused of having red hands, my Straight Dog family. A cabinet member accused of red hands, but not one word from the minister with responsibility for crime. Not one word from the crime minister. He spoke about all stakeholders, yet not one woman or man who he is paying on his Elevate program was deemed fit to be part of the consultations, because to him, the peace program was a criminal enterprise. He said this about the peace program, my Straight Dog family.
We have a serious gun problem in our society. This societal ill, reflected throughout the region, has been serious for us for at least 2 decades now. But it has worsened because of the introduction of money into the equation. Not only do the gangs have numerous members, but because of the ill-advised peace program, they have significant amounts of money used to buy influence and dangerous sophisticated weapons which are used to carry out heinous acts. That is why the focus in our National Security Council meeting earlier today was suppression. Suppression in preventing the inception of crime or preventing expansion of criminal activity.
Imagine. And one time he talks about suppression. Another time he lectures us about the public health issue. July never supported the alternative lifestyle program or peace program that gave so many young people a second chance. Prime Minister Gaston Brown had consultation on the weekend with rival gangs in Antigua and Barbuda, introducing the very peace program. that he's modeling there in Antigua. But July won't invite them to his consultations because for him, the peace program, my Straight Dog family, as I said to Drew, the peace program was a criminal enterprise.
So we launched the Elevate program because under the corrupt criminal enterprise called the Peace Program was a criminal enterprise endorsed, sponsored by the administration led by the member from number 7. The Peace Program was a criminal enterprise sponsored by the state. You had what you call a management review board and an initial engagement team come talking about peace program. This was a criminal enterprise sponsored by the state, Madam Speaker.
My Straight Dog family, members of the initial engagement team he referred to comprised of pastors, 2 pastors, Eric Maynard in Nevis, and Lincoln Connor of the Antioch Baptist Church in St. Kitts. And I posed that very question to Pastor Connor and asked him if he was part of a criminal enterprise. But he ignored Straight Talk until last night on his 50th birthday. And on a conversation he hosted last night called Voices of Conscience, I urge you to listen to it. One beneficiary of the program, Bruce, said this to the members of the Antioch, or those gathered at the Antioch Baptist Church last night. He said this.
Well, what we were trying to do, like as MacArthur said, it wasn't the most important factors. As you hear something happening in a village, we actually had a group of guys, what we call the management. We are a part of the peace program, but like we pick out the most influential guys from the different villages, them, and we create a little body within the peace. And we were responsible for now. Every little quarrel, even an argument to Mangain, we hear about it. You got there quick. As MacArthur said, you call the 2 parties, we see them down, man, I hold on this. To me, that ain't going on now, and that need to be happening for the peace thing to hold on.
Okay.
We need to do that still.
So what would you say to those who say the peace was just about paying criminals to do crime? Because the truth is, the peace might have suffered from lack of public relations, but there are people who actually believe that it was just a cash cow to give money to guys like yourself and others, and it encouraged crime. So what would you say to those people?
Well, I can't put me in a blacks for nobody. Me know the cash cow thing go, but for me, the peace, I mean, they tell a lot of lies on it. I don't know if because it was political or whatever, but as I say, I don't want to get in that. It was not a program to pay nobody. That's a lie. They were giving us loans. They were helping us in everywhere. I still got my loan to pay for up till today. I had a reason with Patches Nisbet in January when Nevis with my family they came, and Patches Nisbet was still on no, and political talk come up and all they not pay them man and you know. So I had to tell him no, it's not so. I get a loan and I had to sign papers just like anybody else. If me not pay who me loan, they're gonna come back for me thing them. It wasn't free. And that one of the things like the I don't mind politics, but the opposition were pushing out at the time like, oh, to me they were trying to turn society against the guys them. Imagine we used to complain about guys misbehaving where I don't behave myself. Now somebody implements something for us to behave itself, they're still vexed. So I couldn't understand the way they were bashing the peace. But it was just, I guess it was just misinformation, so I want to clear it up tonight. I'm still paying for my loan, it's nothing free. It was just a good program to help unfortunate people that most people don't want to forgive. It's a very forgiving program, and we need more programs like that. If we are in forgive, how we going to move on? So like, you know, as I said, we went through the same procedures just like anybody else. And we just got the opportunity that nobody else ever give us. And that's why I could praise the program so much. I would have never been here today if it wasn't for the Peace Initiative. Because first thing first, you just come out of prison. Well, who wants trust a prisoner with so much money? You take, you got to be forgiving. You must. You got to put a little confidence in people. You know what I mean? Believe them for somewhat. If they disappoint you, well, you leave a little room for that. But we got to be forgiving. You say the church, right? So we got to be forgiving. You know what I mean? And that's what them guys did to me. They were very forgiving to us. And to me, it looked like to society like, oh, too much politics again we think too. Like they just give them money and but look at this. Let's rewind. When the peace initiative was going on, wasn't crime down much more? So whatever they were doing, it was working. So why bash something that is working?
Good question. Dr. Joe should answer that question. Why bash something that was working? Bruce got a start from the peace program. And he told his audience that he runs a beach bar in Sandy Point that's doing well. He said this, my Straight Talk family.
Okay, let's say I got to go back to the peace again because that's where I get me start. You know? Spoke to Mr. Harris and blah, 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 blah. We work out something. And right now, presently, I'm running a beach bar and grill. You know? Which is doing relatively good to me because I ain't going to study nothing, just doing it my own little thing from my wisdom, understanding along with my help. And to me, we're doing relatively good, you know what I mean? So, I thanks the Peace Initiative again. I thanks Mr. Pastor Connor here. Mr. Carter, appreciate you so much. Every little thing I could call Mr. Carter for. So, Bruce, don't worry yourself. You got a little issue, call me. Don't worry yourself in no problem with nobody. And you really look out for that. So, I got somebody who could call on, you know what I mean? I appreciate that so much.
Yes, that's MacArthur Brown, Assistant Commissioner of Police, he can call on. Shez is also a beneficiary of the program. And he said he was thankful for the peace program.
Thank God for the peace program. Honestly. Not because the other thing is, Bruce said it too. The people have it as, oh, the peace program is about money or they paying money to gangsters. No, I ain't no gangster. I ain't no gangster. I could watch in this camera and say I ain't no gangster, and I have never pledged any allegiance to any gang. But I am a member of the peace program, and I have benefited, and I continue to benefit. Because when I leave out in here, I ain't gonna go there to my car and wondering what's going on behind me like once ago, thanks to the peace program. You got some of my brothers who are on the peace program, they don't have that privilege to say that as confident and with as much truth as I have today. But I wish that someday they would be able to say that again. Because what's going on today, it ain't nice and it ain't gonna benefit none of us. And it ain't something where we could fix overnight, as we don't say over countless times. But the reality is, if we don't try to get to the bottom of this or even somewhere there, then who knows? No, but all what's gonna happen is the crimes them gonna just get more brutal. No, but that's the truth. I telling the truth. I can't fake, I can't lie. Understand? And you may sit here and say, but okay, but I may got to be concerned about every Sunday I go church, every this I go that, every this I do that, I doing this, I pay my tithes, I pay my offering, and you never know. It could be you, it could be your cousin, it could be your uncle, it could be your sister, it could be your cousin, it could be anybody, it could be your child, it could be your child. You feel like you raise your children them to be so good. I know my parents them raised me to be good, but just because of what happening around me and so I end up get sucked into that. That could be your child. That could be your child. It could be your child. I didn't the incident I'm referring to. I cannot forget. That happened 10 o'clock Sunday 13, 2013, October 13, Sunday 2013. I cannot forget. How can I? When Daddy changed my life.
Changed his life 11 years ago. The peace program. Who can deny? Who can be at variance with the peace program in St. Kitts Nevis? Who cannot say, or who can say that the peace program was not proven to be a successful crime prevention strategy due to its holistic and community-focused approach? To continue the progress in reducing crime and improving community safety, it is essential to sustain and expand the peace program. By doing so, St. Kitts Nevis can ensure ongoing support for its residents and maintain a secure and harmonious environment. Framing crime as a public health issue is indeed an academic approach. And yes, it offers valuable insights and strategies. But academic theories on crime most times involve complex models and extensive data analysis, which can be challenging to translate into actionable strategies, especially here in our local context. Theoretical models might focus on long-term social determinants without offering immediate solutions for pressing crime issues. They have what I call a delayed impact. And during that delayed impact, in the interim, in the meantime, in the meanwhile, 65 murders have been committed under July in the last 2 years because he abandoned, he's dismantled the structure he inherited. So academic research may propose solutions that take years to implement and show results. So what's going to happen? I'm going to wait till it gets to 100 under your watch, Prime Minister July? For decades, community police or policing has been spoken about. Look how we dismantled the Explorers Club. Inspector Isles did a great job until Dr. July injected his politics into the Explorers Club and now trying to reintroduce some other kind. I can't even define it. But the facts are the facts. Studies show that community policing can lead to low crime rates and improve community trust in law enforcement. The peace program in St. Kitts Nevis is a comprehensive crime prevention strategy that was aimed at reducing violence, my straight dog family, and fostering community safety. Launched with the goal of addressing rising crime rates, the program integrates multiple facets of crime prevention, including community engagement, conflict resolution, and social support services. Happy to report that Pastor Lincoln Connor supported the enterprise and must be commended for engaging on his voices of conscience last night, my Straight Talk family.
Ultimately, even when we are walking with God, there comes a time when we submit in total surrender. So this is an occasion of even getting closer and drawing closer to God. But we want to thank Dr. Brown and Bruce and Miss Watley and Chesan for coming and sharing with us. I think there is a lot that we have gleaned, and these conversations will continue. Were you blessed? These young men need our prayers, young women too, and our support and our love. And I'll tell you this, don't put nothing past them. Bruce and my good friend here, Mr. Herbert, just this short space of time, they don't know all who in this room. So pass them straight in the road and then say, see, them is the same people who was up there clapping. No, I'm serious. Pass them straight in the road because they don't. And so I want to challenge us to recognize. But we'll have more of these engagements. For I believe that it is necessary and important. I do believe that some of you learned a little bit more about the peace program. And both of these individuals have made it clear that crime should not be politicized and that they themselves are happy for the opportunity that was brought to them as a result. Because he talks about survival. And when you're drowning, you don't stop to see who throwing you a lifeboat. You just go in the lifeboat. It's the people outside who going to say, I can't believe they can't lifeboat give them and all of that. You drowning, all you're concerned about is a lifeboat, not who bring the lifeboat. So we want to thank my good friend, Dr. Webb, and those who came from Dr. Webb's congregation. Thank you very much for coming. And my friend Pastor Saunders. And to encourage them in the work that they do. And a lot of stuff has been said that as a church we'll take on board, because sometimes the church functions without understanding what we are doing. Kind of just thinking in the dark. But you got to hear these guys. So then you can go back and pray. But then you know how to pray with understanding. So you're not just say, we pray for them, Lord Jesus, so we don't pray. You heard what Bruce said. And some of you laugh, but it's true. I told you that. I told you that. And if you weren't there when I said it again. Gentleman went to visit one of those kind of people who Saul had run out of Israel. If you know your Bible, you know. And they had pictures. The person said, well, who pictured this? You know this person? I said, no. But people bring the picture them for me to do them people things. So them is the people are working on where the picture stick up there. So when Bruce say, mothers say, even though I got to sell my soul, you understand what to pray about, Pastor Webb. How to pray with understanding. And you understand the levels of this thing. He talks about a spirit, because truly we know it is a spirit, but you understand. And I am still convinced that the church will make a difference, because the church can make a difference. So let's put our hands together again for all of our presenters this evening.
And yes, my Street Talk program, I played that, and I trust I craved your indulgence without editing much of it. And I'm sure you will agree that the peace program in St. Kitts Nevis was a comprehensive crime prevention strategy aimed at reducing violence, and it did. When July took office in August 2022, there were 2, yes, hear me right, 2 homicides after 8 months in 2022. These 4 months, he took it to 10. His next 12 months, he took it to 31. Meaning 39 under his watch. In just these 8 months for 2024, he's taken it to 26, a total of 65 murders under his watch. Can you say his public health strategy will reduce violence and foster community safety? So please, my Street Dog family, be ye not distracted by crime academics and politics. And that's my story tonight, and I am not going to change it. But I'll open the lines and entertain your calls and your emails. It's 11 past the 9 o'clock hour. You may have just joined us. And that's our thesis for tonight. Be not distracted by crime, academics, and politics. But before I open the lines momentarily, I wish to implore you that I anticipate you will respect others. And to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to be fair to all concerned. And let us try to build goodwill and better friendships. And in the process of saying and doing those things, or anything, let us strive to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. With that said, at 12 past 9, I go to the lines and say good night to our first caller. Caller, you live.
Good night, Mr. Liburd.
Good night, my dear.
The quote for this evening. Nothing is more devastating to a community than out of control crime. I repeat, nothing is more devastating to a community than out of control crime. You do have a good evening.
Have a good evening as well, my Street Dog family. Out of control crime. Okay, we go back to the lines and say, caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Mr. Straight Talk, good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
Abracadabra.
Abracadabra. What's on your mind?
You know what? You know what's so funny today? This morning I have a Spanish teacher. And he said something to me, and I said to him something. So I said, "Abracadabra." He said, "Bida, bega." I said, "What happened?" He said, "You know what you just said?" So I said, "What it is in Spanish?" He said, "You have to be careful, no, that's witchcraft."
Abracadabra.
He said to me, "You believe in witchcraft? You talk about witchcraft?" I said, "No." Understand? I just know that my brother bring up this topic about the Tunka, so I'm just using it as
abracadabra.
Abracadabra. Mr. Straight Talk, I thank you so much because no, really mean, understand? But Mr. Straight Talk, on a serious matter with our King Lion really. First, let me just greet my friends, them around. Good night to my brother there. And my brother Culture, and my sweet, lovely niece in St. Louis, and Mrs. Lyda in Bellevue. You guys, good night. And Kenzie, you guys take care. We're going to meet, man. Mr. Straight Talk, I tell you that a lot of people just listen to your program now. I was talking to someone last week and they says to me, "You listen to that guy?" I said, "Yes." He said, "But I thought he'd only come on Thursday night. This is Friday." I said, "No, I have it set up that I'm going to listen." So they hear about your program. Tell me about your program. So my nephew tell me, see, that he went on the line and he pulled up 700 and something people online with you. Mr. Straight Talk, you move up, man.
I'm thankful to God for that.
So I'm going to ask him again when this thing done, how many people check it, and he must do something or something. But he keep checking every week to see how much people you get online. But Mr. Straight Talk, you're doing a wonderful job. Now let's get back to the little meat. Mr. Straight Talk, you hear what that girl said last week? What I think she's number 2 constituency. I don't know. But my heart goes out to that young lady. No, that woman know what she said to that young lady. And you see what she do to her? She cut her phone off so the child can't get no more response into her. That's a good thing? But
terrible.
Yes,
terrible.
She cut the phone. Our door, we open up to her, we vote for her, she tell me, and hear what she say? She say she's one of your silent listener.
Yes.
You understand? She's one of your silent listener, but she just get the urge to talk tonight. And my sister dear, Lord, I wish I could meet you. I wish you could get in touch with my Straight Talk that whenever I come to St. Kitts, I just see who you are because you're a brave young lady. Mr. Straight Talk, just continue to do what you're doing because our Prime Minister, King Leia, no serious. If they have St. Kitts had such a march there, jump in the crowd, as he said, take politics out. You see, when he's on ZIZ, he taking politics out. But once ZIZ off, he bring back in politics. That's all he's doing.
Yep.
Understand? Like my brother remind me that all they do when they don't talk is a laugh. They always laughing. Like last week, you know what he says? He says so much construction will be in St. Kitts. They're going to run out of people.
Workers, yes. You need workers.
They're going to run out. Look, Mr. Straight Talk, I work on big jobs. I never seen, you know what it is to have 500 man on a job? Yeah, St. Kitts have 500 men out there wait for work, and we're going to run out of construction workers. Mr. Straight Talk, I just want to thank you for everything you do. Let me just hear this story with the whole. Last week, 2 weeks ago, I was in the hospital as I take sick. And you hear what it says? Our king lawyer don't know nothing about crime. We know about crime because it happened to my family, so we know about crime. Yep. And there was this young girl coming in the hospital. 2 of them. A guy come in, he breaks his shoulder, fall off a motorbike. I said, that's what you have to see. You land this guy, you're not going on the motorbike. They take him out. But then this girl come in and she's screaming at the top of her lungs of her voice. And they're asking her, what happened? You know she can't speak because what happened? They just killed her brother. Understand? And they relate to her, listen, your brother died and she was coming down the stairs when they give her the news. You know that girl tumbled down 2 stairs and damaged herself? Oh. And when they try to ask her, child, where you hurt? She wouldn't ask. She said she brother died. That girl cries so much that they just take her out and send her straight to the emergency. So tell King Lawyer we know about crime. We feel crime. We know crime.
Yes, we do.
Understand? And we stand against crime because we know what crime can do. Mr. Straight Talk, abracadabra. See you soon. Love you, my brother.
Love you as well, my dear brother from another mother. Abracadabra. It's 9:19. If you have just joined me, we are looking at the theme, our thesis for tonight, be not distracted by crime, academics, and politics. Caller, you're live.
Good evening, Mr. Patches.
Good evening, my dear.
Good evening. How are you?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
I am doing pretty well, thank God. I call in for a few points to make. First of all, when it comes to the peace program, they could have made it their adjustments but left it in, but they're too unhappy with the progress. Jesus said, let the wheat and the tares grow to the last day. They didn't know what they did when they did that. Number 2, we don't have a political problem in St. Kitts as much as we have a spiritual one. There's too much hate and grudge each other. When Cain killed Abel, God said, "Where is your brother?" He said, "Is that my business?" God didn't even dignify him with an answer because it's a foolish question. We don't have to love each other, but we have to care enough to not kill each other. Ultimately, the Bible says, "My people who are called by my name will humble themselves. I will hear from heaven and forgive them." They need to ask for forgiveness. We have too much hate in St. Kitts and Nevis, man. People grudge you and they hate you for no reason. We're too small for that.
True.
And if you dig down deep enough, we're all related.
True.
How can we survive with what's going on? It's heartbreaking to see, sir. So that's all I have to say. This is the first time I called it. I can't take it. It hurts too bad. Anyway, God bless you, sir. You're a good person. Thank you.
I'm humble. Thank you. Hope it
Good
won't be
night.
the last time. Thanks for your call, my dear. Sound speech that cannot be condemned, as we say in Titus. True. It's 9:21. 1 minutes past the 9 o'clock hour. We are, as I said, we are looking at our thesis for tonight, which I've titled, "Be Ye Not Distracted by Crime, Academics, and Politics." Yes, Mark reads this email. "Giving praises to yourself is neither here nor there. The Bible tells us not to praise thyself, but to let others praise you." Maybe the same shoes or slippers you are talking about. Stating that you bought them could very well be the opposite. That is, you begged them, got them, and now boasting, and as usual, showing yourself off in them. Tell us what else you beg for and receive. Being such a selfish and greedy man I am. Certainly you did not beg for the shoes alone. However, the ironic thing is, the man Harris, who you invariably telling lies about and making mischief and did not receive any shoes and watch. But that is far different to you. You so lie reads this email. Let's go back to the lines and thank this caller for holding. Caller, you're live.
Yeah. Good evening, Patrick.
Good evening, my dear brother. Abracadabra. Culture.
I can see the lint, Mama. Good evening, VG. Good evening, SO. And good evening, Brother Straight Talk, Nabu, Sidewine, and Brother Welcome, and Brother Jamdong, and all who listening to this program. Thank you all for paying attention to this program. Now, let me start first. From the last election that King Lawyer of the World had, 3 days after that, he started to exhibit all the satanic rules that he got in him, satanic mentality, the devils that he got in him, because he has nothing named God in him. That is King Lawyer July. 3 days after the election, the first person he attacked was Patty's program, Straight Talk and ZZ, the Monday night. When the moderator started to play the introduction music, he said, "Oh my, I did something I wasn't supposed to do," and he cut it out. That was the end of it. So you are the first person that King Hatred July attack cut out the program.
Remember that, eh?
Yeah, I keep everything in my mind. Yeah, say something. You were saying?
I'm sorry, it was a paid program.
Right.
Program, yes.
And along with that, you had people now who come back and say, "We together again." They used to criticize you, said that you up in New York, in United Nations, and coming down every week on national radio. Come campaign or whatever it is. But they forget that when they were in government, they were right under the Prime Minister, which was Dr. Douglas. and they could not go on the government. The same radio station go say what they have to say, and they were working for the government. That's one. And then this woman, Ebony Brandon, she was up ZZ every morning, cussing Team Unity. From Dr. Harris commemorating the whole team. That was her purpose on ZZ. So let them don't forget that. Or remember that they well. That was her purpose, to cuss and abuse and humiliate Team Unity. Well, this man here now, let me come to him now. He said that he wants all hands on deck. And it's a community approach. And whatever plan he got for 3 months to deal with the crime, he's not serious. Because he don't know nothing named peace. All he know is red hands. Now look at the big peace march or walk, whatever PLP had on Saturday morning. He should have been in there if he never had politics as he prays. Forget politics. This is CAS, country about self. This is all hands on deck. Not some hands and some guns, some cussing, this and that. Where was he? After 65 murders in 2 years under the Mandi leadership, about Prime Minister.
Okay.
Where is his concern and his love and his passion for people who are suffering, to help them? He don't love no country.
Okay.
And I want to say this before I come back again. President, let me tell all who disappointed in his big promise. Do not be on starvation for 364 days. And the last night before 365, they come with a load of money, give all you, tell all you that this can be done if all you vote for him. Tell them go where they're going. That is what they do. The last election.
Okay.
Fool people. And then as they get in there, that's it. That's it. So people, do not forget, please, cremate the part of your brains that is forgetful. Cremate it and keep your memory brains alive so that they don't come back and fool you all again. But let me move unless somebody is coming. So long.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your contribution. It's now 9:27. You may have just joined me, my Straight Dog family, and we are looking at our thesis for tonight, which I've titled, "Be ye not distracted by the crime academics and politics." And as my point of departure, I made reference to the last weekend when we were burdened, many of us were burdened with lectures about crime in this country. And as I said, and I always tell you the truth, I have, for some time now, a long time now, I have deliberately not addressed crime on this forum. I have. We'll always have some real practical experience about crime. So I have come to tell you tonight that you must not be fooled by any professor, any World Bank or any USAID report, or any lecturer from any university or medical school, or any psychologist or psychiatrist or any doctor, whether Dr. Who or worse yet Dr. Drew, who is so lie. You cannot be fooled so easily, my Straight Dog family. And I listened, as I said, to a portion of what must be the start of a lecture series to convince the Federation that crime is a public health issue. Is dubbed the launch of national consultations on crime and a 90-day campaign. You notice those guys who were on the peace program, they were not invited because they're not stakeholders. But you know why? Dr. Drew referred to the peace program as a criminal enterprise. Imagine that.
So we launched the Elevate program because under the corrupt criminal enterprise called the Peace Program was a criminal enterprise endorsed, sponsored by the administration led by the member from number 7. The Peace Program was a criminal enterprise sponsored by the state. You had what we call a management review board and an initial engagement team come talking about peace program. This was a criminal enterprise sponsored by the state, Madam Speaker.
That's why he won't advise them or invite them to the consultations. But shouldn't they be? Aren't the stakeholders? They're the ones we asked to put down the guns. I was part of the collective when the peace program was launched. And I had one issue, which I referred to as the elephant in the room. And that was the guns. The guns I was told would be part of phase 2. So, my Straight Dog family, the peace program was well structured. Caller, you are live.
Hey, good night.
Good night, my brother, the Bible man. How art thou?
I'm fine. The Bible man is fine.
You're batting down the order tonight. You're demoted.
No, because you see, I do that. Because tonight when I call your phone, the phone plug out.
Plug out?
Your phone cut out. The phone was ringing.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, the phone cut out. So I said to myself, let me cut out otherwise I want to see what's going down. And when I cut out the woman come in, I said, my God. I said, I'm going to wait and see down the line. Let me go down the line and wait for a little time.
So what's on your mind? You're down the line.
Well, what's on my mind? That Jesus is coming. That is on my mind.
What?
The Lord Jesus Christ is coming.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
And so, my dear, the word of God says for peace, it shall be sudden destruction. That is Psalm 37. Fret not yourself because of evildoers. Neither be envious against the work of iniquity. For the soon shall cut down like a grass. That is Psalm 107. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord for his good. For his mercy endured forever. He said, let the Redeemer of the Lord say so, who we have redeemed from the hands of the enemy. That is Psalm 41. Blessed is the man that considereth the poor in the time of trouble. The Lord shall deliver him from the Lord shall deliver him. That is Galatians chapter 6. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, he shall also reap. But did have a pleasant night to hear me. I am not going no further than this. See you. Bye.
Thank you very much. Have yourself a good night as well. Always welcome your spiritual interventions, I call them, from the Bible man, John James. I came across a post from Gwyneth, and it stated, many people are bright, but not brilliant. And immediately I reflected on Premier Brantley, However, despite his fake boasting and self-centered claim that he is the brightest of all in and out of Parliament, and whereas Prime Minister Douglas had censured him numerous times in the past to stop talking like a fool about how bright he is, this brightest idiot who lacks brilliance has allowed the Prime Minister Jew to outsmart him by taking away all of the diplomatic posts that Harris had given to Nevis. As soon as Jew got into government, like he could not wait, he rescinded all of the diplomatic post divisions held and gave them back to Kittians, giving the impression that divisions are incapable to representing the Federation overseas. So when this bright idiot declared that Harris did a lot for Nevis, but Jew has gone further in doing more, you wonder what kind of educated idiot Mark Brantley is. Reads this email. I must clarify that the two of the ambassadors did in fact resign. I know Dr. Hull at the OAS and that lady there from, what was it, Canada, Miss Sherry Truss, yes. I am so fed up with this Premier Mark Brantley and his childish behavior, reads this other email. Posting shoes that he begged for on the internet and calling up Timothy Harris's name in a most disrespectful way. Only last week he was part of the symposium discussion on crime and violence, asking for suggestions to curb this ongoing criminal activity in the Federation. Now here is he, as a leader, picking fight with Harris. All because Harris declared to the world that Mark is a bad spender. Yes, Harris is right, and Jew has discovered that for himself as well. And consequently, you cannot get the fair share you are constantly begging for. Therefore, what will you do? Small little boy Mark Brantley, when the World Bank ruled on the matter and decide you are being given too much, and as a result, they cut it down and give you less than what you are getting from Harris. Remember the World Bank work with statistics and not politics and friendship, reads this email. The cotton ground Nevis man in America was right, Mr. Liburd, when he said that Dr. Jew told a female journalist the Harris brothers case will be coming up in the September assizes. Well, the assizes start next Tuesday, and I'm going to the courthouse to see if for once Dr. Jew has spoken the truth. Well, I won't even respond to that because we know that Harris is not part of any case. Patches, good night. I am visiting from Texas for 2 weeks. I am so ashamed how my country looks. So dilapidated. The bayfront looks horrible, dirty. Needs paving, don't it? Don't talk about the bus terminal. It is so dirty. I would not eat in there. I visited Brimpton Hill, paid $15 per person. I'm sorry I wasted my money. That don't look like a historical site. It's massive gimme, need maintenance badly. I'm ashamed to see my country. Patches need unity back, reads this email. Patches, there is total disorder in the primary schools. You see some boys coming out from school, you hardly can recognize who are boys from girls. The boys here are unkempt. Those who are wearing the locks look like they have not been washed in years. Are these the values the government are promoting, aided and abetted by the slow student and the fraud doctor? Where is St. Kitts going? Reads this email. Good night, Patches. Where are the houses the man from Trinidad was supposed to build? I hear that Team Unity turned him down more than once, but Jew and Jeffrey like to be in things and was looking special deals. Now everything is on pause and they are fooling people about coming for housing assistance. Patches, 3 houses were built by Labour for 2 months. The AG already made it clear the bankable are the ones who will be getting the houses. But how it looks, don't seem like bankable or non-bankable getting any house. Another smart scheme by Drew and Jeffrey. My Straight Talk family, it's 20 minutes before 10 o'clock. If you are joining me for the first time, welcome. And just to inform you that Straight Talk is heard every Monday and Thursday from 8 to 10 in the PM. We usually have our observations in review. Then we move into what we call our thesis or a short dissertation. And my thesis tonight I have titled, Be Not Distracted by Crime, Academics, and Politics. And I referred in my introduction to a lecture series that was introduced by our Crime Minister, July. And according to a report from by SKN Newsline, this is what he said at the launch of the national consultations and the 90-day campaign. Glenn Barth reported this, my Straight Talk family.
We want to take the politics out of it, because if we don't, we will never resolve the issue. So from my perspective, and I see from the perspective of other politicians as well, we have to work together to see how we can resolve this matter. And it takes all of us who are here, even beyond the politics. Law enforcement alone cannot do it, but they must do their part. But we as a society have to come up with the solutions. I want to say officially and to launch from this point onwards the 90-day campaign against violence and crime. And to say that there will be a number of activities that will involve all of us. And to also say that from my perspective, this will never ever become an issue only when we see a flare in violent crimes, but that it will be a staple on the table when it comes to policies.
My Straight Talk family, collaboration is being sought. But however, collaboration is needed on so many other things. We can think about land distribution. We can think about housing. The PAP, now called LIFT, also the piece now called Elevate. We need to look at the effects of the dismantlement of these programs. It was good, nevertheless, to see our third Prime Minister, Dr. Timothy Harris, at the launch of the consultations on Friday. The third Prime Minister and PLP, the People's Labour Party, must also be commended for mobilizing so many people so early on Saturday morning to walk for justice and peace. The attendance was rather impressive, my Straight Talk family. But where was July? Why didn't he demonstrate that he cared for or cared about justice and peace by just attending? It was non-political. But that's what I told you about his dishonesty. Dishonesty. Like I said, caller, thank you for holding your live. Hello, caller. Are you there, caller? Okay, we seem to have lost that caller. I do apologize for that. But yes, my Straight Talk family. That's what I told you, like I said, about his dishonesty. July had an opportunity to really demonstrate that he wants to get politics out of crime and show solidarity with Joyce, who lost a son as he was. Milk, as we know him, was brutally assassinated. But no, July wants to grandstand and lecture us instead in what can be called an exercise in pure academics, my straight dog family, and politics about crime and violence. But some people are academically brilliant, but they are functionally dunce. In what category would you put Dr. July? That's a question I asked earlier. Caller, you live. Hello, caller?
Yeah, Patrick. Yes, Patrick, I'm back.
I'll give you 2 minutes.
Patrick, when this man... Yeah, 2 minutes.
Yes.
When this man here come on and talk about the peace program was a criminal enterprise, where that mean he was the head of the enterprise? Because what he did with the treasury, he financially raped the treasury with no explanation why he had to go in the treasury and deal with the treasury money like that. So he should be the last person in this world here to talk about peace and put politics aside. But you know what happened to him? Those words that is not coming from his heart, they're going to choke him. They're going to choke him because he's telling lies. And he forget that he's not talking to animals, he's talking to people. And he think people forget, like material. But his days is coming. It's time for him to get out of government headquarters because he cannot run the country. He do not know what he's doing. All he has in his heart is vindictiveness against Timothy and PLP and those people who did not vote for Labour. People, I'm saying it again, do not be fooled with no money, because when you don't fool you with the money, you are going to suffer again for 4 to 5 years. Good night, Patches.
Good night, my brother. Thanks for your contribution as always. Patches, the police force is corrupt from top to bottom. The crime problem need a clean police force. The civilians do not trust the police anymore. Safety and security is threatened. We need a change in government. Read this email. Good night, Patches. I live in close proximity to the seaport and the airport. Nothing is happening at the port. This Patches is the slowest tourist season ever. Jew wrestled the leadership from Dr. Douglas and made it worse. Jew and his cabinet are out of touch with this other email. And my straight dog family, at 9:48, it's 12 before the 10 o'clock hour. And like I said, we come to you on Straight Talk every Monday and Thursday from 8 until 10 p.m. So we are on the downhill side of Straight Talk. And our thesis, like I said, be not distracted by crime, academics, or and politics. And my Straight Talk family, July always try to give us a lecture. But surely, as I said, he cannot lecture Joyce about crime and violence. When she lost a son she raised, who only made it to 2 school years. What does the Bible say about 3 school years and 10? Milk, as he was known, only got to 2 school years. So what can July tell Joyce about crime and violence.
Love me, mommy. And I did
love her. He did love her.
He didn't love me, I know. I know my child he love me. Lord have mercy upon me. Lord, forgive me, child. Lord, useless people. Lord have mercy. Oh God. Oh God, I'm trying to be strong.
So what, my straight dog family? Can Dr. July tell Joyce and many mothers like her in this country who can talk with authority about crime? What can July tell me about crime? My straight dog family. It always irks me when we have a prime minister who is a bold-faced liar. My son, as I said before, reminded me that a liar has no memory. He said this, my straight dog family.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Ian Patrick Liburd.
Good afternoon, sir.
This is Mikhail Yannick Liburd.
This is who?
This is your son they're talking about. I was caught up in a political game where they said I did something. My father now is make a change and trying to bring the country together, to unity. And look what I've done. They're trying to bring up my past, but they wouldn't break me and they shouldn't break you, my father. Okay? You be strong, stay on the radio, do the work. You know what I mean? Because the liar have no memory. And you always taught me that. And don't care what you do. Don't let them break you. I will stay strong and you be strong too, my father.
Yes, I'm here on instructions, my departed son, my hero. He said that I taught him that a liar has no memory. But that's what my grandmother taught me. So I pass it on to him. And that's why it irks me when we have a prime minister who is such a bold-faced liar. So what can July tell us about crime? When a member of his own cabinet, it is claimed, or is accused of having red hands. A cabinet member accused of red hands, but not one word from the minister with responsibility for crime, the crime minister. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Yeah, good evening, man. How you doing, Mr. Patches?
I am peaceful, my brother. How about you?
Yeah, pretty good, man. Yeah, firstly, I want to say congratulations to Timothy Harris for going in the street Saturday. I want you to maybe go back in the archives and well, I don't know if you may have to, but I know you can remember that time when you had him on, when I, voiced my opinion and I asked him, when is he going to, come in the street and lead a march or protest, and I've finally seen him. Was he under that cloak of humility? Where was he hiding at, man? So to Harris, I want to just say thanks for him coming out on Saturday in solidarity of all the murders that been happening in the communities there in St. Kitts, especially in both islands, yes, but especially on the St. Kitts side. I was very happy to see that take place. So I just want to give him some kudos tonight. A lot to talk about like usual, man. But there's a song by King Craig that is being played on another podcast. A Prayer for the Land. I want everyone in St. Kitts Nevis to pull that song up and take a listen to it. It's a very appropriate song. It's just tell the time that St. Kitts and Nevis is going through right now. We going down a path that is not good, and we need some type of intervention. We need some more love in the place. There's too much hatred and evil inside the Federation of St. Kitts Nevis. The people have got to change their attitude and they got to change their mentality. Let me get a 1 or 2 minute patches just to go off and something I heard today. And I heard a gentleman, he was under Freedom Radio, I think, today. And, you know, I'm hearing him say something because I heard him on Freedom before with another host. And he said something to the effect that there's a young soccer player out there in St. Paul's, I think, who has been offered a contract, $10,000 to play out in the league in Libya, right? And he said that that young man made a decision to stay home and play for the local team in St. Paul's, where he's not getting that type of money at all. And me personally, I respect the young man's decision, however he came about that decision. But we need to get serious about the sports and entertainment. I don't see how we're going to have talented people, whether it's Mikael Louis in cricket or that same young man in soccer, and we're going to have persons around them who are encouraging them not to take advantage of making money from the skill that the Lord has blessed them with.
Okay, I got some.
Those monies.
Some people. I got some.
Yeah. Just quickly. I'm going to wrap up real quick, man. Yeah, real quickly. I just want to strike home the fact that that guy who made that decision to stay home and not go get and play for that money, I think that's a bad decision. I don't believe in that. He should have gone and get that money so he could bring that money home to feed his family and pump that money into the economy.
Okay.
And that's all I really want to contribute, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for your intervention. They go back to the lines and thank this caller for holding caller your live. Hello.
Yes, good night, Mr. Liburd.
Good night, sir.
And how are you?
I am peaceful. Yourself?
Well, not too good, not too bad. In all my years, I never see this country so hard yet patches. Like real hard in patches.
Yes, it is.
Real hard. I never see the country so hard yet in all my life. Make it worse. They say they're building house and you can't get no house because the house them stop build. I want to know when the house ain't gonna start because I want a house too. And make it worse. I hear on another radio, another station just tonight saying they don't got some kind of program coming up soon saying how they done transform the country to an international something. So I want to know which country they done transform and which country they done build up. So somebody got to tell me about that.
Well, he said they're on the way.
On the way, which part? Coming on a jet? Coming on a cargo plane? Which part they coming?
Coming in the submarine.
So did you have a good night, yeah?
Yeah. Thanks a lot for your intervention. Thanks a lot, my Street Talk family. This is what he said. We don't fabricate things. He actually said this, my Street Talk family. Would you believe this?
The capital project, I will say, let me go through them for you, if you don't mind. Smart homes, on their way. Right? On the way. The hospital, on the way as well. The school, on the way as well. The solar plant or solar farm, on the way as well. There are some others I will mention, not yet, but they are definitely coming on the way. We have about 2 other major investments. One will be an agriculture major investment that will also come. We have an investment for the airport, that is advancing significantly as well. I'm saying that when, in the next few months, I'm almost certain that we'll run out of construction workers here.
Caller, thank you for holding your live. Hello, caller.
Okay, Patches, I just wanted to complete my thought there.
Are you in construction? Are you in construction?
For me?
Yes.
Nah, man.
Okay. Well, you missed out.
I wish. if them houses were rolled out, then I would have maybe, I would have maybe opened a construction business and try to make some money off of you guys there.
We're gonna need workers shortly on the way. All these
Yeah,
projects on the way.
them capital projects is MIA, man. And the rest of the year gonna be wrapped up in court. But anyway, Patches, real quick, man. So concerning my point, man, about that soccer player who, didn't take that opportunity to make that money. I'm asking, and I'm putting this straight out there to Michael Louis tonight, man. What should we ask of Michael Louis to do? Stay in the federation and don't make no money with his talent? Yeah, Michael, my advice to you, bro, is to try to get to a league where you can make some serious money, man, while you're young. Michael Louis needs to be marketed so he can get some of that real money what all them other cricketers has made and is making right now in the world. When are we going to see another cricketer like him in the federation? And different than that, we should have a bigger outcry in the federation concerning this crime thing, especially after we had somebody like Milk being assassinated. We need to have a united outcry against this crime. We need to have a bigger outcry for Milk. And I send my sympathies to his mother, man. That was real touching when I hear her sob Saturday morning there on the Peace March. But thanks again, man, Patches, and you guys have a good night, man.
Have a good night as well, and thanks for your contributions as always. My Straight Talk family, wow, it's 10 o'clock. I should be out of here already. The time has passed me by, so let's, in wrapping, inform you, my Straight Talk family, as our thesis, be not distracted by crime, academics, and politics. And we do have quite a lot of that. The Crime Minister spoke about stakeholders, yet not one woman or man whom he is paying on the Elevate program was deemed fit to be part of the consultations about them, about peace and crime and violence. Because to him, the peace program, as he said, was a criminal enterprise. But didn't he know that the peace program gave so many a second chance in life?
Okay, let's say I got to go back to the peace again, because that's where I get me start. Spoke to Mr. Harris and blah, 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 blah. We work out something. And right now, presently, I'm running a beach bar and grill. Which is doing relatively good to me, because I ain't we're going to study nothing, just doing it my own little thing from my wisdom, understanding along with my help. And to me, we're doing relatively good, you know what I mean? So, I thanks the Peace Initiative again. I thanks Mr. Pastor Connor here. Mr. Carter, appreciate you so much. Every little thing I could call Mr. Carter for. Say, Bruce, don't worry yourself. You got a little issue, you call me. Don't get yourself in a problem with nobody. And you really look out for that. So, I got somebody who could call on, you know what I mean? I appreciate that so much.
And that's what the peace program was all about. To Bruce. Shez, as well, is thankful, remains thankful for the peace program, my Straight Talk family.
Thank God for the peace program. Honestly. Not because the other thing is, Bruce said it too. The people have it as, the peace program is about money, or they're paying money to gangsters. No, I ain't no gangster. I ain't no gangster. I could watch in this camera and say, I ain't no gangster. And I have never pledged any allegiance to any gang. But I am a member of the peace program, and I have benefited, and I continue to benefit. Because when I leave out in here, I ain't gonna go there to my car and wondering what's going on behind me like once ago, thanks to the peace program.
And my Straight Talk family, the peace program in St. Kitts Nevis has proven to be a successful crime prevention strategy due to its holistic and community focused approach. To continue the progress made in reducing crime and improving community safety, it is essential, my Straight Dog family, very essential to sustain and expand the program. By doing so, St. Kitts and Nevis, my Straight Dog family, can ensure ongoing support for its residents and maintain a secure and harmonious environment. Framing crime as a public health issue is indeed an academic approach, and it offers valuable insights and strategies. Yes, it does. But academic theories on crime most times involve complex models and extensive data analysis, which can be challenging to translate into actionable strategies, especially in our local context. Theoretical models might focus on long-term social determinants without offering immediate solutions for pressing crime issues. They have what I call a delayed impact. And during that delay, you see what happened in my Straight Dog family? 65 murders under July. So academic research may propose solutions that take years to implement and show results. What happened to community policing we've talked about for decades? I interviewed, beg your pardon, Inspector David about community policing. What's become of that program? The Explorers Club, Inspector Isles off the scene, did a great job until Dr. July injected his politics. But the facts are, studies show that community policing can lead to low crime rates and improve community trust in law enforcement. My Straight Dog family, the peace program has been successful, whether we like to say it or not. It is fact.
Well, what we were trying to do, like as MacArthur said, it wasn't the most important factors. As you hear something happening in a village, we actually had a group of guys, what we call the management. We are a part of the peace program, but like we pick out the most influential guys from the different villages them, and we create a little body within the peace. And we were responsible for now. Every little quarrel, even an argument to Mangain, we hear about it, you got there quick. As MacArthur said, you call the two parties, we see them down, man, I hold on this. To me, that ain't going on now, and that need to be happening for the peace thing to hold on.
Okay.
We need to do that still.
So what would you say to those who say the peace was just about paying criminals to do crime? Because the truth is, the peace might have suffered from lack of public relations, but there are people who actually believe that it was just a cash cow to give money to guys like yourself and others, and it encouraged crime. So what would you say to those people?
Well, I can't put me in a blacks for nobody. Me know the cash cow thing go, but for me, the peace, I mean, they tell a lot of lies on it. I don't know if because I was political or whatever, but as I say, I don't want to get in that. It was not a program to pay nobody. That's a lie. They were giving us loans. They were helping us in every way. I still got my loan to pay for up till today. I had a resume with Patches Nisbet in January when Nevis with my family they came, and Patches Nisbet was still on no, and political talk come up and oh they not pay them man and they so I had to tell him no, it's not so. I get a loan and I had to sign papers just like anybody else. If me not pay who me loan, they're gonna come back for me thing them. It wasn't free. And that one of the things like the I don't know in politics, but the opposition were pushing out at the time like, oh, to me they were trying to turn society against the guys them. Imagine we used to complain about guys misbehaving where I don't behave myself. Now somebody implements something for us to behave itself, they're still vexed. So I couldn't understand the way they were bashing the peace. But it was just, I guess it was just misinformation, so I want to clear it up tonight. I'm still paying for my loan, it's nothing free. It was just a good program to help unfortunate people that most people don't want to forgive. They were it's a very forgiving program, and we need more programs like that.
Yes, the peace program in St. Kitts Nevis, my Straight Talk family, was a comprehensive crime prevention strategy that was aimed at reducing violence and fostering community safety. Launched with the goal of addressing rising crime rates, the program integrated multiple facets of crime prevention, including community engagement, conflict resolution, and social support services. My Straight Talk family, I was happy to report that Pastor Connor supported the quote-unquote peace program. But as I close, I beg you, be ye not distracted by crime, academics, and politics. My Straight Talk family, nothing is more devastating to a community than out of control crime. And that's my story tonight, my Straight Talk family, and I am not going to change it. I want to thank you, the many callers, those who send emails, and those who listen silently, many of you. Just remember that you are the ones who makes Straight Talk. And for that reason, I say a big, big thank you. I am Ian Patches Liburd, and God's Spear we will connect on Thursday for another edition of Straight Talk. Until that time, be good to yourselves and to all whom you meet. And remember that whatever your mind conceive, that you will achieve. But first of all, my Straight Talk family, you gotta believe. So when you wake in the morning, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. Bye-bye. Until we connect on Thursday. Keep moving on.
In the morning, I thank God for the morning light. Give Him thanks and praises for taking me safely through the night. For the rest of food and loving care, and for my mother's breath of life that's got me here. So whatever my mind conceives, that I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now, I'll keep moving on, till I reach the top somehow, down on my knees. The Lord I kneel and pray, with my heart and soul, beg Him to take me through each day, my guardian to keep, and my guide, over every step I take, He will preside. So whatever my mind conceives, that I will achieve, you better believe, because I do the things I should, be to my brethren kind and good, the best I could. So I'll keep moving on. strong, pure and true.